So breaking news, this just happening hours ago. It is absolutely official. It is even being named Build Back Never. So we're going to go into the latest EV tax credit results. These are actually what's going to happen. And hours ago, the one holdout in the Senate, what is happening right now is the tax credit, the EV tax credit, that's a part of the Build Back Better plan, is being voted on in the Senate. Well, it's actually going through a conversation process to be proposed for a vote. But here's what happened. So just hours ago, Senator Joe Manchin from West Virginia, the longtime holdout of this bill, officially said in an interview today on Sunday that he will be voting no. So Joe Manchin said, quote, "I cannot vote to continue with this piece of legislation. I just can't. I've tried everything humanly possible." So we're going to cover why this happened and what's next. So when can you expect this bill to be passed and what really happened? Why did this fall apart? Well, Joe Manchin has specifically said in the end, however, he was concerned about inflation, the national debt. He quoted geopolitical unrest and the COVID-19 pandemic. He said that the bill being pushed by his fellow Democrats was just too much. So what has changed in this bill that we were really hoping to get this passed? Well, you would get $7,500 plus a $500 bonus for the batteries being built in the United States. But what else has just recently changed last week are the vehicle caps. Now, this one's actually pretty big. But let's just pause real quick and what happens next? Because we see that the vehicle caps have increased, but this bill is not going to pass because of Senator Joe Manchin. So when will it pass? Well, like we said in our last video, the sources have told NBC and others that it should pass around March time. So that brings into question, when should you take delivery of your vehicle? And I have been told by Tesla that now they are cracking down if you already have your order in and you're expecting delivery soon. If you're delaying your order 6 months or more, they will be cracking down, essentially giving you an ultimatum. You can collect your delivery. You can click "I'm ready" in the app and get your delivery, or they're going to give that VIN away to someone else. But here's what you need to know. So if it's passing in March time and not January 1st, is this retroactive? So if I have to take delivery, or if you're thinking about ordering your Tesla and you take delivery January, February, before the bill is actually passed, will this be retroactive back to purchases in January 1st, 2022? Well, there's been a lot of debate about this in the comments section. I've seen some things in other videos, but here are some sources that I've been pulling. So specifically one I mentioned in my last video on Twitter, a very, very reliable source that's followed by some of the biggest YouTubers out there. So this source has said it is not retroactive. And here is another one. So according from an article on Cars Direct back in November, fairly recently, they explained that this is also not retroactive, that it will be effective the date that it passes. So maybe if this gets passed in March time, we'll see a March 1st effective date. I have not seen, and I know there's a lot of confusion out there, I have not seen anything concrete that says this is retroactive or that it would be qualified for January, February purchases. But hear me out on this. There's also been some really good points made in the comments section that it doesn't say that it's not retroactive, and that even if they pass this, remember, the child tax credit, this is a part of the Build Back Better plan, expires at the end of December this month. So that should be effective January 1st to get those benefits to the families. So if that is retroactive, would the EV tax credit also be retroactive? Because again, those benefits for the child tax credit need to continue on. But the EV tax credit, the $7,500 you would be getting, is a new incentive. We're not going off of an expiration date. So what should you know is that in my take of this right now, it's not retroactive. So you want to keep delaying your Tesla if you can, if you're comfortable with that. I'm absolutely not recommending that you do that if you're not comfortable with delaying your delivery. So others have come to the defense of the administration, specifically progressive leader Bernie Sanders, saying, quote, "I think he's going to have a lot of explaining to do to the people of West Virginia." So look, the main opposition is the spending on this bill. It is $1.75 trillion, and Joe Manchin has said over the 10-year lifespan of this bill, with inflation, the cost would be more towards $3 trillion. So the debt is something that, again, the senator's concerned with, the inflation and all those other things that I said, but there's a lot of you out there that could really use this tax credit. And I think for that reason, we'd really like to see this bill go through. But in my last video, I also said that we're hoping that these Tesla prices come down. I totally understand the cost has gone up around $10,000 over last year for the Model Y alone. So because of that, we really appreciate these tax credit incentives. And one last point, what is riding on this bill is the change to the vehicle caps. So if you haven't heard about this, this is new. This happened just last week. The caps for these sedans, that's the Model 3, have changed and increased to $55,000. And don't be confused, that is on the MSRP or the base price. I've heard a lot of questions if I add on the white interior, a different color, whatever it happens to be, and it pushes that number higher than $55,000, would I qualify? Well, you would qualify as long as that base price is under $55,000 or lower. So the performance Model 3 would not qualify. Now, the Model Y is considered a small SUV, and those caps increase to $80,000. So for a Model Y, if your base price is under $80,000, you will get the EV tax credit again if and when it passes. So it's a no for now, and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, hoping to give all of us a Christmas present and have this done by Christmas, is not going to happen, unfortunately. But what we can say is we're going to give you all the updates if this does pass, let's say in January. You never know. Things change so fast, so make sure to stay updated. Only way I know that you like these constant updates is to drop a like so that I know that you enjoyed them, and subscribe to get more EV tax credit updates so you know the moment it happens, more Tesla reviews and more. This is Matt from Front to Trunk. We will see you in the next video.